shots. Vaccinations against everything from tetanus to diphtheria and measles. The UN official calls it a red alert for child health. New York City police are reportedly looking into the possibility Ivana Trump died after she fell down a staircase at her townhouse. Former President Trump's first wife told CBS News a few years ago the two stayed in touch.
We speak to each other.
How often?
Yeah, maybe once a week.
He asked for your advice.
And he's still asking me for advice, yes.
Ivana Trump was 73. S&P futures up 10. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Ew, Dad, why are toenails so ugly and yellow?
Hey, it's James, and if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands of others are free from fungus. And you can be too. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-764-9219. That's 800-764-9219. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-764-9219, or visit crystalflush.com.
A popular streaming service is gearing up for commercials.
Netflix is teaming up with Microsoft to roll out a new ad-based subscription service, basically a cheaper version of Netflix with some commercials. The streaming giant has already promised not to overwhelm viewers with digital ads, but we still don't know how much it could cost or exactly when it could launch. It's expected later this year. The new service could help Netflix rebound from a rough start to the year. It's already lost millions of subscribers and been forced to lay off hundreds of employees. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Actress Constance Wu makes a sad revelation.
I don't want to be in the same room as that flyer.
She says she tried to take her own life over the backlash she got when she tweeted 3 years ago she was upset after her sitcom Fresh Off the Boat was renewed. Some critics called her ungrateful, said she was just frustrated over having to cancel another project. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Alabama Dance Theater invites you and your family to celebrate our 36th season with Stars on the Riverfront. Experience the magic of dance at Montgomery's Riverwalk Amphitheater with 2 spectacular free performances. Bring a ticket and the entire family Sunday, July 24th and Monday, July 25th. Gates open at 6. Performances begin at 7:30. Don't miss these premier dance performances at the Riverwalk Amphitheater. It's free. Visit AlabamaDanceTheater.com for more information.
Summer is here, so get out and enjoy the sun. At Taos, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram it's easy. So make this the summer event. The all-new Grand Wagoneer is here and ready for you and the great family fun. Summer is a blast in a new Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger with 0% APR for 72 months. Make this the summer. Hop online. We're here by chat, text, and phone to help you. TalossyAutomotive.com. Drive a little, save a lot. Plus finance with Chrysler Capital. 13.88% finance. Usually things all factory acceptance.
Hey, y'all, we're the Wolf family from American Oak, the Rustic Furniture Outlet, and Wolf Boys Bedding. As you all know, we are a family-owned business, and with that being said,
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
we have decided to close the week of July the 17th through July the 25th.
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
Shop with us before that or after that week. Our normal business hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 6.
You don't pay fake money, so don't set up the fake wood.
Hey, bud, this is Coco.
And Captain from the Rustic Furniture Outlet at American Oak and Moore.
We have some great news. We're building a new warehouse.
Yes, but the bad news is we have over $1 million worth of inventory that we have to move. That's over 4,000 pieces.
So, Captain, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a huge warehouse sale. I would rather discount it and sell it than move it.
For the first time ever, we will be giving an additional discount on over 4,000 items in the Rustic Outlet.
Don't let it pass you by.
Come save big and help us get it gone.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. And Allstate Better Protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Scattered showers and some thunderstorms again today. Coverage will not be as high as what we saw yesterday. There will not be that morning round of rain either that just sits over the same handful of counties. We'll call it scattered showers and storms this afternoon for the most part, with highs around 91 degrees. Otherwise, if you're not getting rain, sun and clouds mixed together. Low 70s and upper 60s, quiet tonight. The weekend, lower rain chances around 20% with highs in the 90s. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities that would send anyone on an alternative route. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from Selma, and 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy, still carrying light traffic. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. Invisible Fence has the Boundary Plus system, giving your pets security, but giving them more room to enjoy life. Call Vicki at Invisible Fence, 265-2585. Buckle up. It's the law for Montgomery Skywatch traffic. This is Major Delay.
Talk tires with Montgomery's #1 tire store, Chico's Auto Pros. Chico's has you covered with Chico's Auto Pros price match guarantee and 0 down options.
Good morning. I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday. Following the deadly school shooting in Texas, Montgomery Public Schools are enhancing security across their campuses. Some of the enhancements include electronic door access, additional surveillance cameras, increased usage of metal detectors, and new safety training for teachers. Globally, nationally, and statewide, COVID-19 cases are on the rise. The World Health Organization says well over 5 million new COVID-19 cases were reported across the world last week. That's a 6% increase from the week before. The state's back-to-school tax-free weekend is officially here. Now through Sunday at midnight, you can buy things for students for the new school year without paying the state sales tax. This includes things like clothes, diapers, school supplies, computers, and more. We have a complete list and more information right now on the 12 News app. I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you haven't switched to Medi-Share yet, 2 big reasons to at least consider it and why it makes so much sense right now. Number one is inflation, which is just affecting everything. It makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? Well, you could save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. Medi-Share members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in, and that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. They want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust Medi-Share. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 25 years. It works, and members love it too. It has double the customer satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they're very easy to talk to. Medi-Share has great customer service. You can even get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Here in the South, the summer heat can be brutal, but work on your property never is. You need equipment that's fast, efficient, and versatile. That's exactly what you get with John Deere equipment from SunSouth. Like the easy-to-use John Deere 3025E tractor with loader starting at only $295 a month. Trouble. Save time and money. Quality John Deere equipment. Come see us at SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
Some restrictions apply. See details. Expires July 30th, 2022.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
And good morning, everybody. First of all, let me tell you, welcome in this morning. No, we haven't changed anything, but I have to tell you about the sponsor of our show this morning. Thought I'd do this at the beginning of the show now, which is JL Lane Truck and Auto, jllanetruckandauto.com. Go there, check out the online inventory. Also, you can buy there, pay there, so you have to worry about the credit hounds out there hogging you and worrying about those little numbers, because Lane Corporation does not worry about that. JL Lane Truck and Auto does not worry about that. They will help you out getting a new car or getting a pre-loved car. All you have to do is go down there at 208 Gun Road, and they are willing to help you. So if you're ready to give up those heels and get yourself some wheels, give them a call, 272-4313, 272-4313. Now, that's not a text number, ladies and gentlemen. That is a regular phone landline. So don't be texting it because you never hear anything back. 272-4313. Again, that is online inventory, cars that have been cleared, and of all known and maybe some unknown issues. They have passed a rigorous inspection process, so they are ready to go. And once you leave, you can be assured that you are driving one of the best pre-loved cars, best maintained pre-loved cars in the city of Montgomery. Okay, so I'm just saying. So that number again, jllanetruckandauto.com or 272-4313. All right, it's time to rise and shine, people. It's time to get out of bed.
Where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
No cream or sugar, brother. And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is another day that you're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning. It is time for our daily bread, a word from on high. A word that'll change your perspective or give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. Good morning. It is July the 15th. Today's daily bread is simply entitled, The Whole House. Our scriptural insight today comes from Acts 16:22 through 34. But Acts 16:31 says, believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household. Govern yourselves accordingly. And again, it is July the 15th, 2022 AD. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day or you didn't. And you don't get a chance to undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that tomorrow should be. You'll be proud of what you have done on this day. If you've lived a while, you've seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, reach back a little and help somebody else along the way. While you can, for as long as you can, until you can't. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard by which you live your life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. But you're not a failure until you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never quit. You never, ever quit. You never give up, because quitters don't win. And while winners may fail at a thing or two, they never quit. So don't you. So if the mountain's so high you can't get over it, and it's so deep you can't get under it, and it's so wide you can't get around it, sometimes take a little help with you, but sometimes you have to go through the mountain. And even when the clouds are above you, the sun is above them. Just hold on. Don't quit. Don't ever quit. The whole house. That is our daily bread for this day, July the 15th, 2022 AD. Good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. And no matter what happens, it is a great day to be alive. Good morning to you, the whole house. That's our daily bread for this day, July the 15th, 2022.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading title, The Whole House, was written by Win Collier. Wearing his striped jumpsuit, James walked across the steamy jail gym and climbed into the portable pool where he was baptized by the prison chaplain. James's joy multiplied, however, when he heard that his daughter Brittany, also an inmate, had been baptized in the same water. When they realized what had happened, even the staff got emotional. There wasn't a dry eye, the chaplain said. In and out of jail for years, Brittany and her dad both wanted God's forgiveness, and together, God gave them new life. Acts 16 describes another prison encounter, this time with a jailer, where Jesus' love transformed an entire family. After a violent earthquake shook the prison and the prison doors flew open, Paul and Silas didn't run, but remained in their cell. The jailer, overcome with gratitude that they didn't flee, took them to his house and eventually asked that life-changing question: what must I do to be saved? Believe in the Lord Jesus, they answered, you and your household. The response reveals God's desire to pour out mercy on not only individuals, but also entire families. Encountering God's love, they all came to believe in God, the jailer, and his whole household. Though we're often eager for the salvation of those we love, we can trust that God loves them even more than we do. He desires to renew all of us, our whole house. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Acts chapter 16, verses 22 through 34. The crowd joined in the attack against Paul and Silas, and the magistrates ordered them to be stripped and beaten with rods. After they had been severely flogged, they were thrown into prison, and the jailer was commanded to guard them carefully. When he received these orders, he put them in the inner cell and fastened their feet in the stocks. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. At once, all the prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. The jailer woke up, and when he saw the prison doors open, he drew his sword and was about to kill himself because he thought the prisoners had escaped. But Paul shouted, "Don't harm yourself. We are all here." The jailer called for lights, rushed in, and fell trembling before Paul and Silas. He then brought them out and asked, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" They replied, "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household." Then they spoke the word of the Lord to him and to all the others in his house. At that hour of the night, the jailer took them and washed their wounds. Then immediately he and all his household were baptized. The jailer brought them into his house and set a meal before them. He was filled with joy because he had come to believe in God, he and his whole household. Let's pray. God, we know your love for our family is so much larger and stronger than our love ever could be. Please reveal yourself not only to us, but to our entire family, so we can all know the joy and peace that comes from knowing you. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. I'm Stephen, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Our Daily Bread. Okay. Right. Hey, board. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. Every day. Hey, run. We run to the sun. No sweat. Not yet. Down in a mess all on my knees. We got nothing to eat but a can of beans. Nothing to eat but a can of beans. The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. Bread was molded and the meat was bad. You know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Rough and tough. Airborne. Airborne. All the way. All the way. When I was young, I always wanted in the 82nd Airborne, easing the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. Early one morning in the drizzling rain, when I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light lead with a chilling glow. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. Here we go, here we go. All the way, all the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne, airborne, airborne. All the way. Okay, no PT today. You know what day it is? It's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. I love Friday. Okay, but right now we pay homage to our armed forces who protect most of these Fridays that we have, so we don't speak Russian or Japanese or Nazi or whatever we done fought back in the day. Anyway, so let us pay homage to the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, and Space Force. Now, today, ladies and gentlemen, it starts a tradition. It starts a new era for the Elk Dog here. It's a new era. The mayor of the airways today decided that even though I'm an old man, there was one weakness that I had, and that was sugar and cream in the coffee. Okay? Starting this morning, I got it right here with me. Right here. You can't see the whole thing if you're on the radio, but I got the cup here. It's blacker than I am. Okay? So I'm just telling you, I'm going to drink it. Okay? Black coffee for the first time. Okay? Because to be a real man, I learned yesterday, you have to have it black. Now, that's a whole conversation all in itself. Okay? I'll let you know how this works out in a couple of minutes. I haven't tasted it yet. I've been looking at it. But I'm going to get on it. I'm going to taste it. Because today is Manhood Day. All right? I'm just saying. So, but now, let's pay homage to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force, Montgomery Fire Department, the Montgomery Sheriff Department. Good morning to the Police Chief, Daryl Albert. Good morning to the Mayor, the Honorable Mayor, Stephen Reed. Any other dignitaries out there? Good morning, Commissioner Singleton, Commissioner Sankey, Commissioner, Harris. There's somebody else down there too, but I don't really know. I forgot what my county commissioner's name is. It's a woman, that's all I know. She'll never come on the show very much, so she don't call in, she don't do nothing, so I don't know. I guess she's doing something down there, getting that check every month. So, I don't know what her name is. Good morning to the city council members and to all the dignitaries out there serving the public, or at least getting paid by the public. Good morning. Here we go. Oh! This is terrible. Oh! Oh! Okay, this black coffee is terrible, but I'm dealing with it. I'm being a man. Oh, Lord. And good morning, Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. Good morning, and good morning again. After all, this is an Air Force town, isn't it? Yes, it is. So let's show some respect. Come on now. Good morning, Todd, my Air Force veteran. The United States Navy. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm drinking it. I really am. I'm really drinking it. Whew. The United States Marine Corps. We call them jarheads. Their motto is Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi. Either one means the same. Always, always faithful. Good morning, jarheads. And last, but certainly not least, my alma mater. It is home of the most storied military units and military history in our country, and that is the United States Army. Home of the 82nd Airborne, America's Guardian. And don't forget the Rangers, the Green Berets, Delta Force, and the regular Army. We gotta remember them too. Wait, you think that's it? I don't think so. Okay, all right. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Doing pretty good. Okay, well, I do have my audio presentation today from Tim Tebow because that's a great one. A life of significance. But okay, so the black coffee. Okay, I gotta get used to it. It's terrible, but I'm gonna be the man today. I'm gonna change my gender. Today, I am transient. I am transgendering. Excuse me, not transgendering. I am transferring from a wuss with cream and sugar in his coffee to the real man that I represent with no sugar or cream. The coffee is black this morning. It's terrible. But that's only because I'm not used to it. But by the end of this show today, this cup of coffee will be gone. All right? I'm just saying. So bear with me. This is painful, but being a man is sometimes painful. Okay, I'm just saying. Sometimes it is. Okay, so we shall return. Okay, not yet. Okay, we shall return uno momento. Okay, after this break. And whew, it's hard being a man with black coffee. Whew, how do they do it all these years? I don't know. I tell you one thing though, it certainly will wake you up. Woo! Okay, but I ain't gonna wimp. I ain't gonna quit. I'm gonna hang in there because we paratroopers don't ever quit. We may fall down, but we get back up. We'll be back. Look at Woo!
Talk tires with Montgomery's #1 tire store, Chico's Auto Pros. Chico's has you covered with Chico's Auto Pros price match guarantee and 0 down options.
The UFC's International Fight Week just added an exciting fight. A virtual fight, that is. Influencers Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman will be fighting virtually in EA Sports UFC 4 while being coached by UFC athletes Stephen Thompson and Adrian Yanez. In an event as serious as Fight Week, it's fun to see UFC adding something as humorous as a virtual fight with serious coaching for fans to enjoy.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Okay, input. Where was the hard drive already full? Juwan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes. But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin. It says render failed. What I do? Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli.
And Jeff Branca with Chappie's Deli.
What are you eating, Jeff?
Chappie's Deli sweet potato fries.
They are so good. People eat them all the time. Jeff, what are you humming?
Just thinking. You know how we get phone calls after I sing in the commercials?
But they aren't good phone calls. Don't do this.
Sweet potato fries. Dun, dun, dun. French fries never tasted so good.
Please, I'm begging.
I'd eat mine. Dun, dun, dun. Every day if I could.
Folks, come get your sweet potato fries with no singing at any Chappie's Deli. Berry Hill, Pepper Tree, Baptist South, Prattville.
It's gonna take me a while to get used to it.
Vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at LarryPuckett.com or visit them on Cobbsford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right, weight loss seminar Wednesday, July 27th at the Hilton Garden East in Montgomery. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop Smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts 7:30 p.m.
Hey y'all, we're the Wolf family from American Oak, the Rustic Furniture Outlet, and Wolf Boys Bedding. As you all know, we are a family-owned business, and with that being said, it is very difficult to go on a family vacation. So we have decided to close the week of July the 17th through July the 25th to take our family on vacation. Please shop with us before that or after that week. Our normal business hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 6.
You know about bank money, so
Oh, there they are. Hey, why I come
Good morning, Alabama. How'd you sleep last night?
You can buy a mattress anywhere, but at Wolf Boys Bedding, we want to make sure you get a good night's sleep. We will take the time to show you how a mattress is made and what supports you and gives you comfort. Then let you make the decision on what's best for you. Whether you need an inexpensive mattress or a great night's sleep, we have you covered. Shop the Better Sleep Sale and get up to $400 off on Heritage Sleep's homegrown collection.
Don't count sheep, get a great night's sleep from Wolf Boys Bedding next to American Oak Floor.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Okay, we're back. Good morning. All right. Now, this is from Tim Tebow. This is really an interesting thing. It's called a life of significance as opposed to a life of success. They both are good, but one means more. You figure that out. Okay. You might want to figure that out doing this. But it's only like 5 minutes and 1 second. We'll be back.
University of Florida, for every home game, we would get in the bus at our hotel, and we would drive right by the stadium, and we would stop at what's called the Gator Walk. And every game I played there was probably 20 to 40,000 fans at this Gator Walk, ready to greet us as we get off the bus. I would see all these people. I gotta tell you, there were a lot of voices that started to hit me. One of the first voices that instantly hit me was pride and arrogance, because I would look out and I would see thousands of jerseys with my number on it. I would look out and I would see Bible verses that they were wearing because I wore them. And so for a second you thought, dang, I'm something. They're here for me. This is pretty cool. I must be somebody. There's a picture that I stumbled across, and it's one of Time's 100 most influential images of all time. And it's the picture of this young girl. She's on her way from her village to a feeding center not far away. And she's so malnourished and she's moving so slow that this vulture is waiting to attack. So the young man that took this picture, I think there was probably something in his heart that he wanted to do good. He wasn't sure. So he captured this picture and he just waited, and then the vulture got closer. So he kind of shooed the vulture off, and then he walked away, and the vulture would come right back. And he was told, because of some of the sicknesses in the areas, don't touch anybody, don't do anything. And so he didn't. He didn't. He did nothing. Because apparently the cost was too much. So he left. He went back. The New York Times published this photo in 1993. In 94, he won the Pulitzer Prize for this photo. 4 months after this, he chose to end his life. You see, every single one of us, we have a chance to be successful in life. And you know what? I hope you are. I really do. I hope you're successful. There's nothing wrong with being successful. But success is just about you. But significance is about other people. You see, that man that took that picture, he had success. That's one of the greatest honors a photographer could ever have. But obviously it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So what's going to be enough for you? You see, success is great. You can do a lot of things with it, but it's not going to be fulfilling. And you can never forget that sense of urgency, that it's not about your timeline, it's about their timeline. While you might have 30, 40, 50 years, they have days, minutes, moments. She had moments, but it wasn't worth it to go pick her up. It wasn't worth it to give her a hug. It wasn't worth it to tell her about the gospel. Yeah, I won a Pulitzer Prize, but what does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't. And I think the greatest tragedy in life is we're going to look back one day and say, I was successful in things that don't matter. I want you to be successful. But more than anything, I want you to be significant. And when you live for Jesus and you love people, I believe you're going to have a life of significance.
A life of significance. Actually, I think Tim Tebow's kind of hard on the guy. I understood his message. I understood the message, but it was, I don't know. That young man knew what he could do at that moment. And it's one thing for sure, it is easy to criticize others when you're not in their shoes. So, I don't know. But I agree with his message. A life of significance is much better than a life of success. Success means you. Significant means others. So we have choices to make every day. Do we do only those things that are good for us? Or do we do those things that are good for everyone? Those are choices that we have to make. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time for our, already had our daily bread, excuse me. It is time, what's the time? It is time for Lessons of Life. It is 6:46 in the morning. And so just in case you want to know, okay, well, I got to get all this stuff together. Here we go. Here we go, right there. Okay. All right, outstanding. So, good morning. It is, today is the 15th day of July. It is the 196th day of the year. And no matter what happens this day, no matter what happens, it is still a great day to be alive. The word of the day. Now, some would say I am associated with this word by deed or action. However, it is not necessarily so, but I can understand how people can reach that conclusion based on this word. And the word is captious, okay? C-A-P-T-I-O-U-S. Captious. Now, what that means, it usually means tending to find fault and raise objections. Less commonly, it means calculated to confuse, entrap, or entangle in an argument. Now, I understand how people would kind of say, well, that's you. Okay, but not really. I just like you to validate what you say. Okay, I don't really want to argue with you. I like you to validate. Like yesterday, I'm sitting at the barbershop yesterday, and people argue with me, telling me how good a president that the guy is in the White House right now, and how Trump was this bad guy. And of course, I didn't have to worry about eating, buying groceries, and every time I go to the store, the prices go up. I didn't have to worry about 11% inflation index. So I'm just saying. So some people are tethered to a party, and we have forgotten every last bit of our common sense. But that's okay. That's a whole different show. So the word of the day is captious, C-A-P-T-I-O-U-S, which means tending to find fault and raise objection. Okay, so maybe that is me. Less commonly, though, it means calculated to confuse, entrap, or entangle in an argument. Now, actually, I don't want to confuse you. I'm trying to get you unconfused. That's my job, is to unconfuse you. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, I really don't. You're confused enough. All right. Now, what is the lessons of life today? Now, you've got to been here a while, most of the time, to go through this. But you could go through it at a young age, because it has happened to all of us. This has happened. Okay. So here is the lessons of life for July the 15th, 2022. Everybody, I mean absolutely everybody, at some point has gone or will go through something that has changed them in a way that they can never go back to the person they once were. And if it hasn't happened yet, it will. Can you remember in your life when that happened? I remember the day all things changed for me. Let me say that one more time. Everybody has gone through something that has changed them in a way they can never go back to the person they once were. And if it has not happened yet, if you live a little longer, it will. Now you can take that one to the bank. Good morning to you. Now, things that have happened on this day, July the 15th. On July the 15th, 1976, a 36-hour kidnap ordeal began for 26 school children and their bus driver as they were abducted near Chowchilla, California, by 3 gunmen and imprisoned in an underground cell. The captives escaped unharmed and the kidnappers were caught. The year was 1799. French soldiers in Egypt discovered the Rosetta Stone, which proved instrumental in deciphering the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. In 1834, the Spanish Inquisition was abolished more than 3½ centuries after its creation. Yeah, I'm glad, because I still don't know what the Spanish Inquisition is. I must have went to sleep in that class. 1870, on this day, Georgia became the last Confederate state to be readmitted to the Union. Manitoba entered Confederation as the 5th Canadian province. 1910, the term Alzheimer's disease was used to describe a progressive form of presenile dementia in the book Clinical Psychiatry by German psychiatrist Emil Kaplan, who credited work of his colleague, Mr. Alzheimer, in identifying the condition. Okay, Alois, Alzheimer, that's his name. Okay. 1971, President Richard Nixon, I can pronounce those American names pretty good, Richard Nixon delivered a televised address in which he announced that he had accepted the invitation to visit the People's Republic of China. 1983, 8 people were killed when a suitcase bomb planted by American extremists exploded. Armenian extremists exploded at the Turkish Airlines counter in Orly Airport in Paris, or we otherwise known as Paris. But I like to call it Paris, like to give it that ghetto kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? 1985, a visibly gaunt Rock Hudson appeared at a news conference with actress Doris Day. It was later revealed that Rock has suffering from AIDS. You know what? You're talking about something that disappointed me. When I found Rock Hudson, Rock, the man, was gay. I mean, that was his business. That was his business. But, I mean, come on, yeah. Just kind of like blew my mind on that one. 1996, MSNBC, a 24-hour all-news network, made its debut on cable and the internet, and it's all gone downhill since then. 1997, fashion designer Gianni Versace was shot, he was 50 years old, was shot dead outside a Miami Beach home. Suspected gunman Andrew Philip, whatever his last name is, Cunanan, 27, was found dead 8 days later. A suicide. Investigators believe that Cunanan killed 4 other people before Versace in the cross-country spree that began the previous March. Okay. 2002, John Walker Lynn, an American who fought alongside the Taliban in Afghanistan, pleaded guilty in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia. 2 felonies in a deal sparing him a life in prison. In 2008, in an all-star game that began at dusk and ended at 1:37 a.m. on this day the next morning, the American League defeated the National League 4-3 in 15 innings at Yankee Stadium. And in 2010, after 85 days, BP stopped the flow of oil from a blown-out well in the Gulf of Mexico using a 75-ton cap lowered into the wellhead earlier that week. Now, you remember when this oil was coming out, everybody saying, it's going to kill the oceans and all that stuff. But we kept telling you, no, the ocean has a way God has put into play. Most things that man can do, that man can possibly do wrong, nature has figured out a way to fix it. I mean, we heard that it's going to be gone, the water's going to be gone. I mean, it's all going to be bad on it. The fish will all die. Okay, we heard all of that, right? Remember, we heard all that? It turned out not to be so. Nature has a way of, God put it all in the plan, has a way of fixing the stupidity of man. Okay, he does. I agree. I agree with that. So anyway, now like when Mount St. Helens blew up, well, Mount St. Helens is dead. The vegetation won't ever watch it. It'll just be over. So as I sat there in 1980, 81, when they were watching it from a long distance blow up, I just felt so bad for the mountain, right? But guess what? The mountain is back. The vegetation is back on Mount St. Helens in Washington State. So, we learned from this, don't believe anything that these folks say. And then they say about climate change. Okay, climate does not change. We may change, but climate doesn't. Climate has been the same. There's always been, at least in most parts of the world, winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you build your house on the ocean front, and then one day the water decides to rise higher than your house, are we going to call that climate change? No, we're going to call that stupidity. You should not build a house on the ocean's front door. Okay, I just crazy. And then you get mad when the water comes a knocking. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, then we call it climate change. You cannot cut down the rainforest. You cannot take all the trees around your house and cut the trees down and then say, "Wow, it's awfully hot in here." I wonder why. Because you cut the stupid trees down, you idiot. Okay? Trees provide us with shade, cooling, filtering, carbon monoxide filtering, all kinds of things. Okay, so that's why when they come on TV talk about climate change, I tell them to go fly a kite. Okay, now we can do things that cause weather to affect us, like cutting down all the trees, and so when the summer comes, the house is hot, the shingles on your house get hot, the air conditioner have to run more. Man, it's hotter. No, it's about the same temperature it was last year. But you idiots cut down the trees because you didn't want to clean up the leaves. Okay, I'm with you. You're like me. Buy a lawnmower that mulches the leaves so you don't got to pick them up. Come think about that. I actually think bagging leaves has got to be the dumbest thing you can possibly do. What are you going to do it for? It's going to come back down. I'm just saying. I ain't too much into cutting grass either. But, the city says you can only have it 18 inches. What's the law? Everybody know the law on grass around here? Maybe 18 inches is a little too high. But they don't want to. Then your neighbor, I had a neighbor, that son of a gun is out there. I'm not cutting grass every day. I don't care how much it rains. Anyway, all right, so much for that. I got to go. All right, anything else you might want to talk about? No, I didn't think so. All right, then. So, what are we going to do? We're going to go now and go to a break. Hey, I do got a lawyer coming up, Mickey McDermott. So if you got any legal question you want to ask the guy, anything like that, I bring he's going to come on and, he's going to come on and answer some of your questions for you, okay? All right. So we'll be back after these messages.
News update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday. Following the deadly school shooting in Texas, Montgomery Public Schools are enhancing security across their campuses. Some of the enhancements include electronic door access, additional surveillance cameras, increased usage of metal detectors, and new safety training for teachers. Globally, nationally, and statewide, COVID-19 cases are on the rise. The World Health Organization says well over 5 million new COVID-19 cases were reported across the world last week. That's a 6% increase from the week before. The state's back-to-school tax-free weekend is officially here. Now through Sunday at midnight, you can buy things for students for the new school year without paying the state sales tax. This includes things like clothes, diapers, school supplies, computers, and more. We have a complete list and more information right now on the 12 News app. I'm Jasmine Williams. These are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. President Biden has wrapped up a trip to Israel and the West Bank by endorsing a two-state solution. He spoke in Bethlehem.
2 states for 2 people, both of whom have deep and ancient roots in this land, living side by side in peace and security.
But he said the time is not ripe yet for renewed peace talks. Next up for Mr. Biden, Saudi Arabia and a highly controversial meeting with the country's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Correspondent Steve Dorsey is in Jeddah.
At a November 2019 NBC News debate, then candidate Joe Biden condemned the killing of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi.
And I believe in the order of the crown prince.
Mr. Biden vowed to stop weapons sales to Saudi Arabia and make it a pariah state. Now he'll visit the country and join meetings with the crown prince and other Gulf leaders.
The president hopes to convince bin Salman to produce more oil and drive down gas prices. The Secret Service is reacting to allegations it got rid of texts sent on the day before and the day of the January 6th attack. Correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
The Secret Service denies it maliciously deleted text messages after an agency watchdog requested them and says it is fully cooperating. This follows a letter obtained by CBS News from the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General to a pair of congressional committees. It states that many U.S. Secret Service text messages from January 5th and 6th, 2021 were erased.
People in Los Angeles may have to wear masks indoors again soon because of surging infections from Omicron's highly contagious BA.5 variant. Health Director Dr. Barbara Ferrer.
If we do remain in the high community level for the next 2 weeks, indoor masking beginning on July 29th would expand to include all indoor spaces, including shared office spaces, manufacturing facilities, retail stores.
Brittany Griner back in court near Moscow. For the first time, the American basketball star was in a cage, something standard in Russian courtrooms, shown in a cage. Today, her lawyers gave evidence that she has medical permission in the U.S. to use pot for chronic pain. She's already pleaded guilty to drug charges. Almost 110 years after he was stripped of his gold medals, the U.S. Olympic champion is being reinstated.
Tribe stage a colorful celebration in honor of Jim Thorpe, who joins the dancers himself.
The IOC plans to announce today Jim Thorpe, a Native American who won the 1912 pentathlon and decathlon in Stockholm, will get those honors back. This is CBS News.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance yours, Rocket Mortgage can help you get there. For home loan solutions that fit your life, Rocket can.
Ew, Dad, why are toenails so ugly and yellow?
Hey, it's James, and if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my yellowing, crumbly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands of others are free from fungus. And you can be too. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-764-9219. That's 800-764-9219. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-764-9219, or visit crystalflush.com.
If you're planning to check out the Wisconsin State Fair next month, you'll have plenty of new food offerings to sample.
You can get s'mores on a stick, pickle-flavored cotton candy, clam chowder fries, fried pickle cheese curd tacos, even a gummy bear brat. That's a sausage on a hot dog bun with gummy bears as a condiment. Also debuting at the fair this year, deep-fried ravioli and sliced apples that are deep-fried and coated with sugar and caramel. The fair begins in early August. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Beyonce's making her debut on TikTok. She's making her entire music catalog available on the site and making the reveal with clips of fans having fun to her new tune. Cardi B there getting in on the action. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you haven't switched to Medishare yet, two big reasons to at least consider it and why it makes so much sense right now. Number one is inflation, which is just affecting everything. It makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? Well, you could save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to Medishare. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. Medishare members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in, and that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. They want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust Medishare. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 25 years. It works, and members love it too. It has double the customer satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they're very easy to talk to. Customer service. You can even get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE. It's a fact. Ain't going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled to see Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Hospital.
All the way up to 95 years old, have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440 3663. That's 334-440-3663.
I'm leaving today.
VetesHealth.com.
Hello, this is your
I'm going my way.
Are you a veteran in need of assistance with the VA? Do you need help accessing service records or disputing a disability ratings claim? I understand the red tape that many veterans face, and my office is here to serve you and would love to help if we can. Please visit my website, barrymore.house.gov, or call my office at 334-478-6330.
This message was paid for by the official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it. New York, New York.
I don't know, right now being part of New York scene is kind of tough up there. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. Now, I hope Mickey did good, but if he did forget to come, that's okay. I got this under control, so we're good. I just thought it was coming. Anyway, our show been brought to you in part by Montgomery Men's Health. That's right, Montgomery Men's Health. So do you feel low in energy, low libido? You may have low T. We call that low T, low testosterone. That's right. All you got to do is spend about $99, not even $100 to change your life. Remember when you were young, not so long ago, nobody could top you or stop you. Okay, that's right. Well, you can have that feeling once again, but you got to go to Montgomery Men's Health. Let them check your testosterone level, and your PSA to make sure that you're doing all right. Okay, and if whatever issues you have, they will try to put you on a plan that will take care of that, and you'll be the man, the king, the man, you'll be the man. Okay, the mission. Once again, when they look at the dictionary, they'll see your face in there. Okay, because you know that your T is strong, and so are you. Okay, so give them a call, 334-440-3663. I had mine done. I loved it. It didn't take very long to ask me a couple questions, couple personal questions there, but I was tough. I handled it. I looked like I was just joining the Army, and I went in there and answered all the questions they asked me, and you got to be honest now, And it was good. It was good. It was a good feel. It was a good feel. I love those guys over there. A lot of guys in there, but they got some women too. So you may look up and get the woman. But anyway, you need to get your teeth checked. Okay, for $99 change your life. How many times in your life can you spend $99 to change your whole life? I'm telling you, they do it. Okay, look at me. See how good I sound in the morning? Because that teeth thing is up. I'm up there. Okay, I got it fixed. We good. I'm just saying, you might want to do that. I mean, old Blue Eyes didn't have more teeth than I have. All right, and he was the man. All right, Frank Sinatra. Anyway, good morning to you. And again, that number, Montgomery Men's Health, one more time, 440-3663. Also, if you are in the market for a car, you've gone from pillar to post, you've gone down the southern bypass, you're going down the northern bypass, you're going down the eastern bypass, you've gone everywhere looking for a car. You don't want a new car. You want a nice pre-loved car. Well, let me tell you who in town, the place you should go that you probably haven't gone already. And that is J.L. Lane Truck and Auto. J.L. Lane Truck and Auto. Located at 208 Gun Road. Okay, 272-4313. Now, we'll make this easier though. They got a website, jllanetruckandauto.com, all one word, .com, www.jllanetruckandauto.com. And you go online, check the inventory. Matter of fact, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the inventory right now. A 2000, they got a 2014 Jeep, nice car. They got this 2005 Lexus. I've been trying to sell this Lexus forever. Come on, somebody help me out here. It's a beautiful car. It looks like a good graduation present next year for somebody who finishes school. Okay. They got a Ford F-150 Laureate. I mean, they've got all kind of cars, but my favorite car on this thing is the two Lincolns. Okay. They got a Lincoln Town Car Signature Series. A beautiful, beautiful car. I mean, if you want to Uber somebody, listen, you can Uber somebody in a Lincoln and they will feel like a superstar. Because these is the kind of car the presidents and dignitaries and stuff, that's the kind of car they ride in. You might want to go over there and check this car out. Okay. Go on the website. Okay. The website is www. You don't really have to put www, but that's where it goes. JL Lane, 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 truckandauto.com. Okay. Sit down with Mr. Lane. Sit down with him. You buy there, you can pay there. So you don't have to worry about getting this great credit report from the great credit union who sticks it to you sometimes because they don't ever ask you what happened. They don't care what happened. They don't care. Mr. Lane, JL Lane, they care what happened to you. Okay. Sometimes we all got hiccups in life. Sometimes our credit score does not really identify the person who we are. It just identifies that somewhere along the line we had a tough time. Well, Mr. Lane, they won't worry about the tough time. All you sit down across the table from him, be honest with him, he'll be honest with you, and you can leave out of there. You came in walking, but you'll leave riding and talking. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, so give him a call. What's the number again? Don't remember? 272-4313. I like that. Yeah, came in walking, but you leave out riding and talking. I gotta give him that. Anyway, what's our numbers here? 860-1440 is the number here. All right, a couple things going on today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you know that it is not your, how can I put this? It is not your welfare that money cares about. Money cares about more money. Okay, somebody asked the guy who's head of Standard Oil, was it one of the Roosevelt, how much money is enough? He said, just a little bit more. Now, why do I bring that up? Okay, why do I bring that up? Because as I was perusing the news last night, all right, there was an article I went to on WAKA's website, Alabama News Network. And it said, Alabama Power is raising their rates beginning in August. Now, we do have a public service, commission. Now, I'm not exactly sure what they do when it comes to Alabama Power, but we are a power producing state. Okay, from what I understand. So Alabama Power says its customers will see an increase in their bills starting in August, next month. Now, here's my problem. As we go through this article, you'll understand what my issue is. And has anybody heard from Twinkles Kavanaugh? Has anybody heard from her? Okay, has anybody heard from anybody on the power? Because they should have known this was coming up. And did the Public Service Commission did they have to approve this rate increase? But that's not the most insulting part about this. So that's not the most insulting part about it. Okay, so the reason they say they are going up. Okay, now we'll get to that in a second. A typical residential customer's bill will increase by $6, so you can add $4 more. It'll probably go up about $10. Okay, to cover. Now here's what got me. Here's what got me. To cover the higher cost of fuel. What? What? Wait a minute. So you're telling us, okay? They're telling us that we need an electric car. Everybody should go electric car because, well, because we want to get our carbon credits or whatever the hell is that Democrats want to do, and that idiot up there named AOC. Whatever it is they want to do, okay? Okay, so let me get this right. So it takes fuel to create electricity. They telling us to get rid of our gas cars. Okay, get rid of our gas cars and get an electric car. Okay, so here's my problem. Okay, I'm just gonna come straight. So they telling us to get rid of our car, go EV. The average electric vehicle runs about $60,000, 60 grand. Okay. Now we've already seen that. Okay. We've already seen that when the weather gets hot, the grid cannot handle it as it is. Yesterday in the city of Montgomery, a lot of people's electricity went off, if only for a few minutes, a couple minutes, but it did go off because the grid, at least in the poor folks' neighborhood, it can't handle it. So again, I'm trying to ferret this out because they keep telling us that we need to go electric. Okay, so we because we're using too much gas. Okay, so Alabama Power is going up because of the cost of fuel. So wait, we are told all we needed to do was have electric vehicles to save the earth. Again, the average EV, electric vehicle, is about $60,000 or better. That's a cheap one. So in order to save the earth, we needed EVs. But wait a minute. The EVs, the electricity that is made with fuel to make the electricity. Okay? So I'm a little bit confused here now. Okay? I'm a little bit confused. So Alabama Power is telling us that if we all go to electric, it's going to cost us more to live in our home, and we'll still be using fuel to create the electricity. So why don't we just leave things the way they are right now? Because what's going to happen here, well, this is just so while our gas and our vehicle goes down, we'll be living outside in a $60,000 car because we won't be able to pay the light bill or keep food in the house in the refrigerator because the electricity will be off, because now we have to use more electricity to create, more fuel to create electricity. And then, so I don't quite get this. So I thought all we had to do was go EV and our lives would be much better. I don't know. I'm lost. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll just turn off my electricity for 7 months. During the cool months, I know if you have a family, if you have little children or young adults, you can't do that. But if you're single or if you have, your wife and yourself and you're retired, you can do that. You can save quite a bit of money during those months. Of course, you have to pay that $150 to have your electricity, put back on during the hot months, during the summer. But you still save quite a bit, and you have a voice.
So how do you wait a minute? But how do you cook? How do you, unless you got gas cooking? But if you got electric water heater,
You can cook. You can barbecue. You can cook outside. You use candles. Use flashlights for your light during the nighttime. You can even open up a window get rid of the curtains and open up the window. It don't get dark till, during the summer days. It don't get dark till almost 9 o'clock. You'll have a voice, and you can, I want to moon the president. You can moon the electricity.
Okay, but let me get this right. But we have been told by all the politicians that if we just go all electric, then our lives are going to be better. So we need a $60,000 car.
Well, the way I heard it,
Yeah.
And Montgomery didn't get all of Montgomery didn't get electricity until 1960. There were people that were still using wood stoves, still using candles and kerosene lanterns and all that, and they got through it. They got through not having electricity. What did they do when they didn't have any electricity?
No, and I'm with you, but it's the lies that we have been told. I mean, when Alabama Power says we have to go up $6, which will probably be about $10 on everybody's electric, but because fuel went up. Wait a minute. I thought we was going to get away from fuel.
Well, I'm challenging the electric company because if they go up $10, which I know my average bill, what it is during the summertime, during the winter time. If they go up $10, they're going to get a call from me.
Well, let me tell you who needs to get a call.
They're going to get a call from me, and if they want to be irate about it, they can take that little box off my property that's on the side of my house. They can take that line that's overhead off, and they can take that telephone pole and ram it up there, or they can ram it up there to Washington, D.C.
I understand.
And, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not putting up with it. We've put up a lot of stuff the last few years with the Democrats, and now we're putting up with,
Well, Twinkles right, but Twinkle Kavanaugh and all these folks on the Public Service Commission, we don't know anything about this. And I think that every time Alabama Power raises, that has to be approved through the Public Service Commission. I haven't heard from Twinkle Kavanaugh in years. I haven't heard from him.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And to have a voice, if they don't listen to you, your valid complaint about, writing letters to your congressman, writing letters to them, leaving them emails, the hearings that they have. There's only one thing, and that's to cut off your electricity and let them know that you're going to live in the
Well, listen, if it goes, appreciate it. Listen, if it goes up much higher, you don't have to tell them we're going to be living in the dark, because that's exactly where we're going to be. But my concern is, where in the hell is Twinkle and all these people? Because Alabama, from what I understand, Alabama Power does not get to take up your power bill unless it goes through them. Okay, I mean that's my understanding. That they can't do that. Okay, at least that's the way I thought it was anyway. I'm at the call over there. Okay, because Twinkle, and who else is on that stupid board? I mean, I haven't heard about this. I haven't heard about the. Nobody. It's never been in the papers that the prices are going up. Good morning.
Good morning, Carol. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
Hey, is it not ironic that they waited until after the election?
Well, the election ain't over yet. They waited until after the primaries.
Well, but it's over because there's no Democrats running, I don't think, for the public service. So all the Republicans have already been elected to that office. But it is amazing to me. They knew about this months ago.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah, it wasn't something that just started, but it does now. To be fair with them, it's because of the natural gas, and it's also because the Democrats want to do away with coal and all those things that make electricity, and have most of everybody have put all the power companies have put all their eggs in one basket with natural gas.
Mm-hmm.
and now natural gas have went up. So there's no competition.
Did your electricity power go off yesterday at any time?
No, I don't live in Montgomery.
Okay. Well, ours did. A lot of ours did. But my thing about it, and we keep this Democrat idiots keep telling us about electric this and electric that, and so basically what's going to happen, we're going to have some electricity, but not if the gas keeps going up, and if the fuel keeps going up. Not only is our electric bill going to go back up again, but so is our fuel bill.
It has to.
I mean,
we're already running at 100%. Some of the power companies have put people on notices, like some of your chicken producers and others, on notice that they're gonna have to be on interruptible service. So they already can't serve enough if the heat and all the stuff stays like it is, but everybody using electricity. They can't serve everybody as it is. So we're gonna end up being like China, where you have these blackouts.
Yeah. Rolling blackouts. Hey, I appreciate it. Got to take a break. We'll be back. But Twinkle Kavanaugh, we need some black folks on the public service. But okay, I hate to go there, but it looks like folks who live in great neighborhoods and all that. So we got Twinkle, we got Jeremy Toten Odin. I don't know that I know this Toten because I'm feeling it in the rear. So I just, where's this coming from? Chris Chip Becker. Okay, you don't know these guys because they never really come out and talk to anybody. But when this thing goes on, and they won't let, I know people used to go down there and try to record the sessions, and Twink and them didn't want them to. Okay, again, where are these people? Okay, there's an election coming up. Okay, I'm gonna have to run for the public service commission. Somebody is gonna have to look out for the poor folks. Okay, because right now it ain't happening. Okay, we should have known about this before I look at it in the newspaper. Now, you know my gas bill, my light bill every month is now it's about $230 something. Okay, I'm going to decide feed the dog or eat the dog. I don't know. We'll be back. I never had canine before.
First Alert weather forecast on News Radio.
The best that you can be is falling.
Fire up your imagination with Audible. Listen to comedies, thrillers, mysteries, and more. It's everything you want in audio entertainment, all in the Audible app. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Scattered showers and some thunderstorms again today. Coverage will not be as high as what we saw yesterday. There will not be that morning round of rain either that just sits over the same handful of counties. We'll call it scattered showers and storms this afternoon for the most part, with highs around 91 degrees. Otherwise, if you're not getting rain, sun and clouds mixed together. Low 70s and upper 60s, quiet tonight. The weekend, lower rain chances around 20% with highs in the 90s. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. So far, so good. Still no major problems or accidents. Nothing's being reported by the authorities. Checking with the surrounding counties, they're clear. Looking at your traffic flow maps, no slowdowns or backups. That's all good. Keep listening. We will keep you posted. An equity loan or cash out refinance on your home may be a phone call away. Call the company that answers their phone when you call them. Call MCS in Wetumpka, 567-9000. That's 567-9000. NMLS 232876. Buckle up. It's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Talk tires with Montgomery's #1 tire store, Chico's Auto Pros. Chico's has you covered with Chico's Auto Pros price match guarantee and 0 down options.
This is the Sean Hannity Show. Join me every afternoon at 2 right here on News Radio 1440.
Being here with just lines and problem.
your trusted source for all things quality and beauty when it comes to window treatments for your home. Well, no question, the summertime heat has arrived in full force. Let us at Just Blinds help you not only cool down your home and your outdoor living space, we'll also help you save money on those cooling bills. How do we do that? Easy. With the latest in energy-efficient shades and blinds, complete with a range of options for motorization and automation. Visit our Just Blinds showroom in Prattville or online at gojustblinds.com. And stay cool, everyone.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help. Join the over 500,000 people.
Your lights didn't go out. Well, mine did.
With weight loss results. Mark Patrick Seminars will be in Montgomery on Wednesday, July 22nd. After the hypnosis, I was wanting.
Not for long, but it went out a little bit.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think that deserves Bridget, how much have you lost now? I have lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful. And I would just say go for it.
For only $49.99, lose all the weight you want, 100% guaranteed. Wednesday, July 27th at the Hilton Garden Inn East in Montgomery. Seminar time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
My muscles ached. I was tired all the time.
My son had a full-blown asthma attack. It came out of nowhere.
The unsettling thing about some symptoms is
I had a fever and these terrible headaches.
you don't always know what's causing them.
It was Lyme disease from a tick bite.
I had Zika virus from a mosquito.
He had a reaction to cockroach allergens.
Threats to your health can come from unexpected places. Get the facts. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Sam, put your shoes on. We're headed to the doctor in 10 minutes.
Okay, Mom. Hey, am I going to have to get a shot?
Yes, it's time for your yearly vaccines. We have to make sure all your vaccines are up to date before you start back to school. I have to provide a record to the school.
Alabama law requires children of all ages to be up to date on their immunizations before attending school. Every child needs to be vaccinated against polio, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, also known as whooping cough, measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox.
My job, finances, everything's so crazy. I just want to be in control. With Sam, I can.
Sam is Smart About Money, a free online resource from the nonprofit National Endowment for Financial Education. Get empowered. Reach your financial goals. Visit samican.org.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
All right, then. Okay, we're back. We're talking about the rate hike increase without any notice. At least there was no notice to me until I saw it in the news yesterday. Alabama Power, and we were wondering where's Twinkle, where's Becker, where's the other guy? I mean, they had all these great ads on TV, toting Odin and all that stuff. But yeah, he toting all right. Got to stick it to us. I mean, and now somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. And I thought before Alabama Power took prices up, it has to be approved by the Public Service Commission. As a matter of fact, what I can't understand, how in the world can we afford to sell power to other states if they got to take it up on us? Okay, so what happens to the money that they get from selling power to other states? I'm just answering the question, you know. Let me go here. Good morning, who's this?
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Till I get my next bill.
I know. They kind of warned us. You know, you mentioned something about filming. Well, the last time that people were allowed to go in there and film, it was when Commissioner Kavanaugh said it's like a football game. It's a done deal. There's no reason, and none of the media was there, but I went. I filmed it. I think that I don't know if I showed it to you or not. I actually put it up on YouTube, and you know, somehow or another it disappeared. That shows you how wide-reaching their influence is.
But it is my understanding. Wait a minute. It is my understanding that Alabama Power doesn't have the authority to go up on your rates unless it is approved through the PSC.
Let me finish, if you would. There was a guy, his name is Phil Williams, senator from Etowah County. And this is what really got to me while I went up there. He sponsored a bill, and I asked the commission, they were on tape, video, how much money was dispersed through this gentleman to get members of the Alabama legislature and Senate to vote to pass a bill which makes it illegal for you to put a windmill on your property.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
You heard what I said, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And nobody could answer that. Then I asked him, this came up in one of your callers a few minutes ago. I said, is there anyone else that produces power in Alabama for sale outside of Alabama Power? And they all looked at me real funny. And then they tried to, the new definition of censorship is disinformation and distractions. And that's why people didn't hear about this raise. With the vouchers and a lot of other things that's getting ready to go by. But we have one last shot at it, Kevin. 20 years ago, I made another movie. I've been telling you, asking you, why don't you promote it and let people see what our people are doing up there in the State House. They took away all access to Alabama's ballot, House Bill 71, I believe it was, and made it almost impossible for you to get on the ballot. Well, guess what? The Libertarians got the signatures. They took their candidates up and placed them on the ballot, and it didn't cost the taxpayers a dime. I was listening to John Merrill yesterday on another program about all the challenges, and we paid for that. And it's a private party. You have no influence. Somebody said here just this morning that there's really no Democrats running for the PSC. Why? Because if you don't have kids to hand the ring of the people that run Alabama Power, you can forget it. Public Service Commission is a gateway to the governor's office. Used to be. If you go back, Don Seawan, I think, was the last governor to actually serve on that. But, and we are not sophisticated enough in Alabama to understand probably what I just said. A lot of people aren't. But we do have one last thing we can do. You know what that is? Go in there and pull the lever for the Libertarians, and let's just see if we can start all over again. That's my comment.
All right, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Did it say Mickey's going to be on there today?
Well, he was supposed to be, but he may have forgotten. We talked about it a few days ago, so maybe he's coming at 8. We'll see.
Well, maybe he had a court case there getting ready for. But anyway, amen to Teddy. He's right on the mark. I mean, that's a big country club.
It is. It is.
The little joker, you're not invited to it. They're all on these boards. They're all, embedded in each other. And so once the old bowling ball of inflation starts rolling down the alley, you're not going to stop it. And, talking about power and selling it to other states, Texas has spent all this money on these wind turbines. They're all over. I go out there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're all over Texas. And they convinced everybody to go get solar panels and put them on their houses and spend all that money. And they're still having power outages. And, I mean, I think, you're doing critical thinking and you're going to become an enemy of the state for doing that.
Well, they'll get over it.
Well, the only thing you can really do is, like one of the previous callers said, about trying to reduce the amount and turn lights off in your house when you're not in rooms.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. But I mean, they're going to do what they're going to want to do.
But Twinkle, now Montiel used to get all on Twinkle's Kavanaugh, and I used to get on him for getting on her. But you know what? Listen, Montiel may be up in heaven, but I got to tell you, some of the things that he said, it seems to be true. They got a party. I'm like, who's that Carl guy that used to do the jokes? Great comedian. What's that name? He said they got a big old party, and you're not invited. What was that guy's name? the comedian.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. Got in the 60s.
Yeah. I hear Bredell play him on. Yeah.
The thing about Montiel was his message came across abrasive, but reality is painful. And the painful reality was when he said follow the money trail. That's where it is. And the only time you see that those jokers including Twinkle is when they're running for office.
Yeah. I just.
And the rest of the time they stay in the country club. But hey, talking about electric vehicles, I got a buddy that retired here recently.
Yeah.
He already had an RV, but he wanted to get an electric truck, one of those Lightning F-150.
Right.
And they told him at the dealership said, yeah, it's got a 230-mile range.
Ooh, that's it.
You're gonna save all kind of money on the range of this thing. He said, and it takes about 10 hours on a 220 volt. And I was talking to him, he was showing it to me to charge it. So you got to sit there for 10 hours with a 220 and charge it to get 230 miles. But what they didn't tell him was when he hooked his RV to it, guess what?
Oh man, it takes even worse than that. This is because it takes from the battery.
Oh yeah, it's just like putting your foot down on the gas, and it uses that juice. So now rather than getting 230, you're getting significantly less. So now you got to pull over, find a charging port, and hook up and sit there for a considerable amount of time to get recharged to get another, not 230, because you pulling a load with it. So see, that's what they're not telling.
Okay, so let me ask you, when you pull over to charge your electric vehicle, you got to pay?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, unless you're doing it at a government site somewhere, or one of these sites that allow you to do it, but they're in the business of making money just like the oil companies are, and they're going to charge you to hook up to them.
So so let me get this right. We're getting the hose either way it goes, except it ain't gas, it's electricity, but the hose is still being put in the same place.
Well, you gonna pay just like you're paying for a gas vehicle.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay either way, but
Yeah.
either way you're gonna pay.
Well, listen, if you happen to see Twinkles camping out somewhere out there in a limo, tell her come up here. We need to talk to her.
You need to look up in the sky and look to the stars, and maybe you'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it. Yeah. I gotta take my last break it out. Get hit. Mickey's here now. We was wondering where he was, but he's gonna stay a while with us, I guess. I hope. Never can tell. He's a busy man. But 860-1440 is the number. I gotta take a break. We'll be back. Uno momento.
How do I get the volume down on these?
Oh, right there. Yeah, one of those.
Which one?
Whichever one corresponds to the knob you're in over there.
Hey, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good bumper music.
Alert weather forecast.
You can't go wrong with Christopher Cross.
Sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades?
Man, I can't believe it. But so Alabama Power takes our power up. Public Service Commission gives you permission, I guess. And I don't find out about it until it's.
Nope, they put it in the paper and release the information after they vote, which is how they usually operate.
Yesterday, there will not be that morning
What?
rain either. That just
I used to get on Montiel. Montiel just had a certain way of delivering the news, which kind of turned people off a little bit. But the news itself, most of that was right.
70s and upper 60s, quiet tonight. The weekend, lower rain chances.
Tough time to be an American.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm
Our founding fathers with turnover in their grave, they knew where we are at.
Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good to be seen, better than viewed.
Major problems or accidents are being reported.
Beautiful morning out there. Fog's lifted.
Looking at your traffic flow map.
Not getting thunderstorms and flooding.
That's true.
Supposed to be drier.
And the electricity ain't going off this morning yet.
Yeah.
with
gas in the car.
Call Trillium State to learn more. Buckle up.
I only had to cut off part of my finger to pay for it this morning.
Me and JB, we got a small tank. Yeah. I think it was 10 gallons. So at maximum at $5 a gallon, it costs me
Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I
$50
attended because my
a
father
day.
stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire.
Of course, you only get 234 miles.
Made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded.
Unless you're traveling
I went to
someplace.
another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another
Your
10
clock
pounds.
is way
In
off.
fact, I brought my
Yeah, it
husband.
is.
He
Yeah.
lost weight.
That's,
More important,
that is,
cholesterol and blood pressure
that's
improved.
color people
My
time.
friend went and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
That is awesome. What do you
Ah,
want? Join
how's the
Mark
missus?
Patrick seminars and
She's
lose
good.
weight or stop smoking.
Took her to dinner last
Guaranteed
night.
for only
Thursday's our
$49.99.
date
That's right. Weight loss seminar Wednesday, July
Yeah, still have
27th
those.
at the Garden Inn East in Montgomery. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
Protect the
Registration
marriage.
begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking.
You gotta put
seminar
maintenance on it.
starts at 8 p.m.
From what I can
Registration
understand.
starts at 7:30
I used to
It's
tell
a fact.
you know,
Guys
you
hate
gotta
going to the
put
doctor.
maintenance on it.
But when
You
it
cut
comes
you
to
the
erectile
truck, the car, you
dysfunction,
gotta.
low testosterone issues,
Well,
men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled. to
then
see
you can
that
catch
their
the little
owners,
things
the
that-
providers
that-
at Montgomery Men's Health.
They grow into big
all the
things.
way up to
You gotta
95
talk.
years old,
Yeah.
have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of
Oh,
men
well.
suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from
Tom,
Montgomery
you guys
said,
been married?
Montgomery Men's Health has changed my
35
life.
years.
I've been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years.
You are the
She
glue.
thought this
You
problem
people
was
are the
because
glue that
of her,
holds it
but
together.
The pills never worked for
We
me.
just pay
I had
taxes
given up until I went to the
until we
clinic.
die. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
There were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99.
I think
That
people need to
includes
have their
all
own
testing,
careers too. I
PSA,
think they need
and
to
testosterone
find
tests.
something
Give the
outside
guys at the clinic a
of
call
each other
at
to find.
344-440-3663. That's
You need that adult
344-440-3663.
conversation outside of the marriage.
Yeah.
Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day. After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation and
anything you want to talk
IBS-C,
about,
he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide,
Traffic
is a
and
prescription
panhandling.
medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess
The
works
mayor
differently
said
than laxatives.
they
It lets you have more
put all their
frequent and
hopes on
complete
this,
bowel movements and helps
uh,
relieve overall abdominal
give a dollar
symptoms,
to the
belly pain,
organization
discomfort,
up the street.
I got
These
no
symptoms
problem
were
with that.
studied in combination,
They
not
gotta
individually.
advertise
Do not
it,
give Linzess
where
to
the
children less than
panhandlers
2
are.
years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel
Put it
blockage.
in the traffic.
Get immediate
I
help
have
if you
those
develop
traffic
unusual or severe stomach pain,
I don't think we
especially
need to
with
start
bloating or
finding
blocked
people who
stools.
give it
The
money.
most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor
Maybe not.
right away. Other side effects
Yeah, it's
include
probably
gas,
a
stomach area pain,
constitutional
and
issue there.
swelling.
I guess
If it could
now
be
that would
your
be
story
freedom of
with
speech
IBS-C,
more
talk to a
than
doctor today.
somebody
Say yes
asking
to
for money.
Linzess.
Would be
Learn more
freedom
at
of speech.
Linzess.com
I have
or
the
call
freedom to
1-800
speak with my money
LINZESS.
to give it to this guy if he wants
Sponsored by
to.
Abbey and Ironwood
But you don't have a
Pharmaceuticals.
right to beg for my money. Maybe you do. I guess that is freedom of speech.
Every afternoon at 2, right here on News Radio 1440.
All right, the clock on the wall says that it is about 10 minutes to the hour. Mickey McDermott is here. So should you, have a legal question and you want a general answer, because he can't give you, legal advice on the radio. He can give you his opinion based on his many years of experience and observations, but don't consider it legal advice. I'll take care of you there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kevin, it's good to see you, Airborne.
Airborne.
Honor to be in your presence again. Hadn't been here in a little while.
Not in a little while.
I wanted to thank you for your support and this radio station support for the Baptist Children's Grief Camp, which we held recently. It was a big success. Biscuits were wonderful host, and a number of children who are suffering in our community got to spend the day, and their parents got to spend a little time learning about how to deal with children with grief, and the children got to have a wonderful day, and you were a big part of it. We appreciate it.
Well, next year we're going to get you on all the other stations. Good morning. Who's this?
Kevin,
This is he.
until you get, that you got to turn on here and everything,
once the gas go back down, they added $6 to our bill and everything. Will you be willing to start to fight for us to get that taken back off once the gas go back down?
You mean the electrical price of electricity? Oh, okay. Well, that actually that's not me as a private attorney, and I'm not Don Quixote. I'm not going to take on that windmill to tilt that, but I will say that what I will say is if they don't take it down when the gas prices adjust, then we need to be at our Public Service Commission raising holy hell, because they're going to protect Alabama Power and Dixie Electric first and foremost, and it's up to us to force them to do their job to protect us, because they only come to see us every 4 years. They're our friends every 4 years when it's election time.
The meeting you're thinking about was George Carlin.
George Carlin, that's right. I know Goodell always plays them. Yeah.
You know, both of them are the same. Both sides are the same, Republican and Democrat. Both of them want to tell you where seat belts and all that, and take away your personal freedom, as they always say. Your freedom, my ass. All right, I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah. But you every time you.
Well, I like to see your enthusiasm on a Friday morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning.
Yes.
Kevin, just to go take a little thinking and don't talk over about help you with all this. Maybe Mr. Kermit could help. Alabama Power is a private business
That's governed by the APSC.
I knew you would talk over me. So that's why you don't never learn anything.
But they are governed by the PSC.
Right. Will you just shut up 1 minute, let me speak? Alabama Power has the right to earn a certain percentage of money.
Right. I know about that.
Fuel costs go up and decrease that earning potential. They have the right, without the PSC doing anything. They just have to explain it to the PSC. So if gas, which is what we primarily use for electricity in Alabama, goes up, Alabama Power has the right to increase their prices in order to maintain the profit margin that is allowed by the state of Alabama.
Now let me ask you. Okay, so let me ask you a question. I just don't, because I don't know. I had never heard of government guaranteeing somebody a certain percentage of profit until I got to Alabama. Well. First of all, they guaranteeing it. So no business in the state of Alabama. Okay, so is there any other company in Alabama, any other privately owned business in Alabama that is guaranteed a certain percentage of profit? So they're both utility companies.
Yeah, and they guarantee a certain profit.
So
if they costs go up, they have the right without the PSC. All they have to do is show the PSC that their prices increase to maintain that profit.
Okay, so if McDonald's don't sell enough I do understand, but I did ask a question. Is there any other business outside the utility companies that have that same right?
Because that's why it's the PSC. It's those things that people have to have, it's gas, water, those sort of things. But there are private utility companies that don't have to do that. Like if you've got your power from the one out there, Pike Road, they can raise the price. I mean,
okay.
But they have the right to make. Let me ask you a question. I got a new name for the little sweet bear. It's amazing if you call in and question his treatment of a black guy. Well, why are you a conspiracy and don't believe in equity?
Well, I don't know. I mean, listen, he has a right to his thought pattern.
Here's a little thing. The man says conspiracy. There's a little department, the guy that got demoted. They had a personnel thing on him.
And he won. He won his.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
The little mayor was, but he's slick. Man, he's slick. But he throws out that bait for you, and y'all just eat it up. Hey, let me ask you one last question. And
maybe, you got it, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a multi-part question. Yesterday, we had a murder in Montgomery. A, did the KKK do it? B, did the Proud Boys do it? C, did the police do it? Or D, was it probably a young black man?
Well, listen, I'm gonna blame that on Biden. Yeah.
Hey, yo, you really going to New York?
Well, I'm thinking about it.
How you gonna get there?
I'm gonna fly to Concord or something.
Yeah, the Concorde's still going up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on that one.
You gonna take that out there down the field?
I might take a hop. Might go on Air Maxwell if they got something good.
You might take a train.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get there though. Yeah, just the same. Okay.
I don't think you would ever put that little red car out there on the interstate.
Well, now me and JB can't. Yeah, me and JB can't get on the freeway because that a little truck come by and my car be gone. So we're just gonna leave that alone. Yeah.
I'm more likely to go to the moon than you go to New York.
Okay. I'm just. Some people say you're already there. Let me take one more call and then we're gonna get our next hour started. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Listen, you deserve what you got. I called you because when you tried to pin her down on your show, you skin and grin with the thought it was funny. So now she don't have to come talk to you at all. But you can make a move because you don't have to, regardless if the Democrat is running, you can write in enough folks to make sure they don't lose.
No, I wasn't skinning and grinning, but I tried to be cordial. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, time's up. We got to go. Mickey McDermott's with us, so next hour we can get the other thing.
As a public service announcement, Concorde hadn't flown since
I had-
1989.
Guess I won't be on that one. Yes, I won't be on the Concorde.
12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday.
So what happened to the plane? What happened to it?
It had a bad crash, killed everybody on board because there was only 4 of them, and they grounded the fleet. And never flown again. They're redesigning it now.
Globally, nationally.
I don't know if that's a reasonable thing to do because cars crash every day. We don't ground them.
Yeah, but it was a major design flaw, and they knew it would happen again. Once it happened once.
I bet that's a nice bird to
The
fly.
weekend is officially here. Now through Sunday at midnight, you can buy things for the students for the new school year without paying state sales tax.
Want a cup of coffee?
No, thank you. Gave up coffee my last day of the Army.
Really?
Yep.
I tried black coffee for the first time today. The worst crap I ever put in my mouth.
Come on, Kevin. I thought when you was last, you didn't go back.
You don't.
Is
Go back to that.
WIAM and 95.1 HD3 FM. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. President Biden wrapped up a trip to Israel this morning with a visit to the West Bank. He called for a two-state solution during a speech in Bethlehem, then left for Saudi Arabia.
I'm Steve Dorsey in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The president will land.
See, me and Mark just had two different philosophies about it. Yeah. I say treat them fairly. Don't call them all liars. Even if they are lying, you got to use different words.
It's called being an adult.
Right. Yeah. Let them, I thought he just was so disrespectful to the mayor.
The president is still committed to advancing.
Let the people decide for themselves if they're listening to what you heard.
That was his personality.
Yeah.
The war in Yemen.
Back home in
my
Washington,
buddy, but he
Democratic
just-
Senator Joe Manchin indicated he'll oppose his party's latest economic package if it includes provisions on climate.
I wonder if
energy,
Biden realized
or
what country he's in
taxes on
this
the
morning.
rich. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
Manchin
I'm
represents a
really
fossil fuel producing
concerned
state,
about,
has a lot
you
of
know,
his
it's
own
like
fortune
elder
in that
abuse.
industry and receives a lot of campaign
The way they're
donations from it.
treating
So
him.
many Democrats upset with this development overnight, knowing it may scuttle the president and the party's
I had to
agenda.
go around
top
the
supermarket in a
office
black
up here and say,
neighborhood
you know, I
in
said, I'm the
Buffalo
oldest
has
person up here.
reopened for
So you
business
guys know what that
months
means.
after a white gunman barged in
Elder
and shot
abuse is
10 people
illegal.
to death. Jordan
Right.
Osborne works at the grocery store.
When I came to the realization that my friends, not even my friends, but coworkers who were there that day in the store.
This is the only job in media where getting older is actually.
Retail sales up
Oh, I
1%
think so.
in
I
June.
think,
Analysts say
I think
shoppers
this is
have
the
been
job that
absorbing
you can stay in
skyrocketing
forever.
prices,
As long as your brain works.
along
As long
with
as
a
that
41-year
you
high in
can
inflation.
make
CBS News business
decent
analyst Jill
sentences
Schlesinger.
and
Sales were up
articulate a
8.4%
position.
from a year ago,
You
but
talk
it's
forever.
very important to stress that
And the longer you're in
retail
it,
sales
the more
report numbers
more
are
the
not
public
adjusted for
is
inflation. One of the
ingrained
country's
because they
largest
expect
banks
you
is
to
in
be there.
trouble. Near
You're
CBS
part of their
News.
routine.
Yeah.
Bank of America has been fined $225 billion by U.S. banking regulators over what they call
I haven't seen a twinkle in a year.
jobless benefits during the pandemic. They said the Charlotte, North Carolina-based bank
Well, that's
used
because
a
she started,
faulty fraud detection
think about the
program that
PSC.
improperly froze
She
and
realized
froze
that,
card
you remember
accounts
before
of
her, there was a
thousands
woman
of
named Jan Cook.
Yeah. Oh, who's been there forever.
And same thing.
The
She
white
never
woman who claimed
campaigned. She
Emmett
never,
Till whistled
she
at
never
her
had
before
to. All she did was
lynched
put
in
up signs
Mississippi
around
in
the state.
1955,
And she automatically
she
got
did not
reelected
identify him
because
as
it was
Bonnie
the only
Murder.
name they knew.
Historian Timothy Tyson
Everybody
interviewed
knows
her
Twinkle
in
now.
2008.
So she doesn't have to. She just runs an ad or two against Obama or against Democrats, and she wins.
Ain't that the truth? I thought the last time for the election was that Obama was running.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services. Ricky LeBlanc, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Admitted in Massachusetts only. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases at this bank are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. Members: Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Nick Neiswander, Florence, Kentucky. Rich Grabo, 970 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford, Connecticut. 860-904-7789. Michael Bo Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. Filing number LA-22-13614. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other attorneys. I am a paid non-attorney spokesperson. Attention U.S. Marines. Veterans were exposed to toxic chemicals in the drinking water on Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Exposure to these chemicals increased the risk for cancer, birth defects, and other serious health problems. If you or a loved one were exposed to contaminated water on Camp Lejeune, you may be entitled to compensation. A new law gives legal rights to those harmed. It is not too late to take action. Call Sokolov Law now for a free legal consultation at 1-800-397-8100. 1-800-397-8100. 1-800-397-8100.
The FAA has issued a warning to drone operators in the Midwest.
Some people like to fly drones at Northside beaches in Chicago, but the FAA says it has received an increasing number of drone sightings reports from commercial airline pilots as they make their approach to land at O'Hare International Airport. It poses a safety hazard even if they're hundreds of feet away from the aircraft. So feds are warning people to keep drones under 400 feet at beaches on the city's north side. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News, Chicago.
Actor Bradley Cooper's ex, Russian model Irina Shayk, is raising eyebrows online with a new Instagram post. It's a close-up of a traditional Russian Olivier salad with the word Russians ending in 2 Z's at the bottom. Z, the symbol that's painted on Russian tanks and military vehicles in Ukraine. One Kyiv-based journalist tweets she hopes brands like Gautier and Burberry reconsider working with Shayk in the future. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministries.
If you haven't switched to Medi-Share yet, 2 big reasons to at least consider it and why it makes so much sense right now. Number one is inflation, which is just affecting everything. It makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? Well, you could save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. Medi-Share members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in, and that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. You want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust Medi-Share. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 25 years. It works, and members love it too. It has double the customer satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they're very easy to talk to. Medi-Share has great customer service. You can even get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Summer is here, so get out and enjoy the sun. At Taos, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy. Summer events. Right here is ready for you and the great family fun. Summer is a blast in the new Dodge Challenger or Dodge Challenger with 2.
So you really think that we're on Facebook, so you really think what we talked about the other day happened?
when we were talking about your colleague.
Your local radio stations.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, that's just crazy. It happens all the time. Really?
Don't let radio go silent. Text local to 42886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message
That's why he disappeared.
National Association of Broadcasters.
But it's good, I guess it's good. So she and the wife has found out about it. So
I figured right now she probably has.
she and her divorce attorney. Man, that's cool, I guess. I mean, why didn't he just? Because either way you go, you're gonna lose. You betcha. I mean, either way you go, you're gonna lose. So it's better that you lose with some price. Yeah, and get something out of it. And don't forget to give me a copy of your invoice.
Ben here with Just Blinds in Prattville. On behalf of the Myers family and our entire team here at Just Blinds, we want to sincerely thank you for selecting Just Blinds as the best, your number one choice for blinds, shutters, and drapes in Central Alabama. Just Blinds has been delivering on our family's commitment to provide quality.
It's kind of hard to break somebody new in.
Affordable prices and to deliver the absolute best in customer service before, during, and after the sale for over 35 years. Please visit us online at gojustblinds.com.
Yeah, well. Hear me at my new time right here on the same great station. It's all happening every afternoon at 2, right here on News Radio 1440.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome, 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 and welcome in. Hey, this is News Radio 1440. My guest for this hour is Mickey McDermott, and we can talk about a plethora of things. For the east side of town, that means a lot. If you want to opine, which means to have a conversation, that's talk radio jargon there that only we, when we want to sound smart, we use those kind of words. So feel free, 860-1440 is the number here. Mickey is a private attorney, a former police officer, and, a former Green Beret. Oh, yeah, the real one. I mean, I wore the Green Beret, but, I didn't go to the school or nothing like that. See, so I don't want anybody to say, well, he said he was a Green Beret. No, yes, I wore the Green Beret. Okay. But, I'm probably the only guy in this city, though, that has jumped with all the major airborne units, 82nd, Rangers, and SF. I jumped with all of them. I served well.
I beg to differ.
Oh, wait, you went with the 82nd, were you?
Oh yeah, that's where I started.
Oh, we're right on. There ain't too many of us around here.
I went from the 9th Infantry Division to the 82nd, the 2nd Ranger, and then went to the Q course, Fort Bragg, and got my tab and went to work around the world.
Oh, okay, all right then. So I didn't know you were at Lewis.
Oh yes. I know Ford Field, and still it's now Joint Base McCoy.
Right, Joint Base McCoy. Right. And Steilacoom and Tillicum and
Tacoma.
South Tacoma way. That's what's between us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if you don't know, every military base in the world has a South Tacoma way or a Victory Drive.
And Bragg's got Murchison Road.
Yeah, Rick, and a place called Rick's.
Yeah, a place called Rick and Ranger Joe down at Fort Bend.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I took my wife to Ranger Joe's to go shopping. She says, I took her in there after we first met, and she looked around and says, this is like a candy store for soldiers,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anyway, 860-1440. Yeah, so when were you at Lewis?
I was at Lewis from 84 to 86.
Okay, I was gone by the. I got there in 78.
And I rotated.
Yeah.
Back to Bragg and other things. But
okay,
Kevin, how you liking the city of Montgomery these days?
Well, it's it's a work in progress.
I agree. I think the new industry that that the mayor and the Chamber of Commerce, my good friend LeBaron Boone, have worked diligently to bring in new industries for economic.
I thought he's LeBaron. Is he on the chamber?
He's president this year. I didn't
know that.
You know, FedEx is building a new facility out in the Emery Fulmer Parkway out there off Coliseum, and he did the opening ceremony and such, and that's a good addition. I think that's going to bring like 150 jobs to the community. FedEx pays well.
Right, and somebody is UPS coming too. Somebody else is coming too. FedEx and Amazon.
And I think Amazon is coming. I think that's one of the things we need to look forward to. Of course, you know, Amazon is transitioning the way we buy things in America, and the mom and pop store, you got to support them if you want them to stay. Otherwise, Amazon's going to eat them up. It's just like
it was a great idea.
Well, it's just like I saw an advertisement for Walmart. You know, Walmart's getting into banking. Walmart's getting into ophthalmology. You know, and I figure there's going to be a dental clinic one of these days in Walmart. When you go in, you know, you buy some infant formulas, take the child to the dentist there at
the same time.
Yeah, it's universal shopping.
But my only thing, and I think we talked about a little off the air, the whole panhandling thing. I know they got this new program where they want you to give money to an organization, but the panhandler, that guy don't care about that organization.
Well, I think we've got a couple things here. One, we've got a new idea for individual citizens to support the homeless and the transients. Great idea. Let's go to every corner and stop where the panhandlers are and put up a big billboard that says, you want to help the homeless, you want to help this panhandler, text money to this account, and the city of Montgomery is going to make sure that they get housing and food and transportation, medical care, and drug treatment. Because I think we all know that when you see a 12 or 13-year-old child holding up signs saying, I'm homeless and give me money, well, first of all, that's child abuse. And second, we already have a mechanism in, it's called the social safety net in this country. We have it for a purpose. And we have Department of Human Resources. We have group homes. We have welfare subsidies. We have emergency housing for families. But the people that are standing on those street corners, some of them are in need, and a lot of them are in greed.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's not the homeless. Sometimes it's a hustle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For a lot of people.
I've seen this guy at numerous times carrying a sign saying, I'm a homeless vet, Navy vet, okay? Sitting on a bucket, talking on his cell phone with an AirPods in his ears. My problem with that is if you're a veteran in this country, all you got to do is go to a VA facility. They will find you housing. They will pull your records, prove who you are. They will provide you with food and shelter and rehabilitation if necessary. So that's an absolute farce. If anybody says, I'm a homeless veteran, give me money. It's just not so.
Good morning. Who's this? Good morning, yes, Miss Daisy. How you doing?
Hello, stranger.
Oh, good morning, sir. I heard y'all talk about Airborne. Okay, only knocking now. And William was 82nd Airborne, 11th Airborne. Okay, you're not the only one in Montgomery.
That's right. I'm glad that you mentioned the 11th. The 11th, the Arctic Angels have been reactivated at Fort Wainwright in Alaska. We have a new airborne division in this country. I think they are being prepared for future deployments in snowbound countries. I don't know what that means foretelling prophetically 20 or 30 years down the road, but for the U.S. Army to start an Arctic division, airborne Arctic division.
Well, you know, the Russians are taking over.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think our government is thinking ahead.
You know, he was in for 36 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say about that Amazon. I want to talk about those folks because, you know, those folks are making about, well, almost $2,000 off my bank account. and I had to change my credit card. You know, I told you about that myself.
Mm-hmm.
They got you too? They got me. They got me.
You know what I'm talking about, right? But the reason they gave me all my money back because they're saying you have applied the card. But I said, I don't know about those folks. And I never had an account with Amazon.
Oh, really?
Never.
Well, my wife and I have an account, and it got hacked, and we found that we were buying furniture and delivering it all over Kentucky. So we had to go to Amazon and cancel credit cards. It happens. We're living in the age of electronic criminals. I certainly tell everybody to change your passwords. Every few years, it's best to go to your bank and say, hey, I've had this credit card for 2 or 3 years. Let's stop Let's stop it for a month, freeze it, issue me a new card with a new number. Okay?
You know what I use now? I don't use my regular checking account. I have what they call a noun card. I get a certain amount of money on that noun card, and after that amount has dissipated, then I add more. I don't use my, unless it's my house, you know, like my electric and so forth. But regular things like QVC and so forth, I use a noun card. Have you heard about the noun?
Yes, ma'am. And you know, you mentioned something about electronics. I'm not in favor of electronic banking, especially when it comes to utilities. I know it saves money, it's convenient, and people love it. The problem I've had from a legal standpoint is somebody coming to my office or calling me desperate that the electronic banking has taken out 2 months worth of a water bill or 2 months worth of a power bill because the due date fell on a weekend or on a 3-day holiday. The bank deposit didn't get made on time, so it's bounced. I'm very, unless you are very computer savvy and you monitor every transaction quite closely, I still like to write checks and put them in envelopes.
And you remember them checks.
The only problem with putting checks in envelopes in Montgomery right now is we've had a lot of postal thefts from the blue boxes on the corners. If you can go into the post office and deliver it inside of it, you're better off.
No, I haven't heard about that.
They've been taking, what they like to do is drive by your house because they know it's the first of the month, and they'll open up your mail, and if you've got a check in there to Alabama Power, since we talked about Alabama Power earlier, what they're doing is called check washing. Yes, ma'am, but what?
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
But let me finish that point for a second.
Check washing.
It's called check washing. What they do is they take your check and they go and they dip your check. They hold their fingers over your signature line. They dip that check in a solution of vinegar and water, and it dissolves most ink. Unless you use the permanent ink or like a Sharpie, that ink will dissolve. They'll dry that check out, and they'll write themselves a check to them or to something else. And your original signature is on there. So you have to dispute that with your bank. And they stole it. And it's a federal crime to steal from your mailbox, but it happens. And I certainly tell people to be real cautious about, just leaving their mail in their mailbox if they've had that problem in their neighborhood. Certainly, if you can have a neighborhood watch, or if your neighbors are watching each other, you'll know when somebody unfamiliar goes in your mailbox. So it's something to be cautious about. We live in the age of being cautious.
Wow, I didn't know that. Never heard of that. 860-1440. Now, listen, I got an attorney willing to talk to you. You don't have to pay the guy this morning. So this don't happen too often. So if you got some issues out there, give us a call at 860-1440. That we can keep on going to other things. I mean, you don't really get 2 paratroopers in the same building at the same time in the city of Montgomery. Like yesterday, we had 2 mayors in here. Okay, although the other guy thought he was the mayor, but that's okay.
Well, Kevin, I will say that you need to put a caveat on that. There's 2 paratroopers in the same room and they're not drinking.
Well, that's true. That's true. I'm still trying to learn how to drink. To tell you the truth.
Well, it's odd that you mentioned that. I was reading the Army Times yesterday, and they have outlawed alcohol to troops in Europe temporarily because of some incidents recently. And, you know, it's always been a tradition to drink in barracks and things like that. That's been suspended pretty much around the nation and overseas.
Wait a minute. Have you heard the new one? Austin may have stars. I don't give a crap who this idiot is. But now they're telling the truth. They have to shower with transgender, whatever the hell it is, guys and women in the same shower. I mean, what the hell is going on with our military? You know, our job is to protect the country. Okay, so now Leanne over there now, who thinks her name is Leroy, and she's getting one sewn on, and so now she's got to go in the same shower with the guy. What? The enemy is going to be so emboldened by defeating us until fighting's going to be a lot harder in America from now. Fighting.
I can only think how a young ISIS fighter is being trained out in the desert with 24/7 drills and weapon drills, and they're playing videos of our country fighting over what a man or a woman is.
Yeah.
And you know, fortunately, good being a man of faith, I've read the book of Revelation, so we know what the end is going to be, and it certainly is clear to me that we're living in those times because no one in history could have predicted the times we're living in. I give you a great example. I have come to believe that stop signs and red lights in Montgomery are no longer applicable. If you choose to run them, you just run them because there's apparently no more traffic cops in Montgomery enforcing traffic laws. And our good police officers are stressed and stretched thin by numbers and duties and calls. And traffic enforcement seems to have fallen by the wayside in our community. And it's a time when you got to be cautious when you drive to a higher level.
Let me add, there was a prisoner in one of Alabama's prisons last week who was trying to sue the state because, and I agreed with him, the heat, the overcrowd. I mean, it's not the first time it's ever been done. Do prisoners, do they still maintain certain constitutional rights even though you're in prison?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we actually have federal agencies which go into prisons and monitor them. They even have dietary requirements. To be a certified prison, you have to have so many calories per day, so much variety of food, so much certain types of clothing, temperature control, sanitation, things like that. The old days of living in a dark black cell, that's supposed to be over. I'm not saying it's 100% so. I'll give you a great example. I had a young man who pled guilty to a series of burglaries about 2 weeks ago. And even though he made it to prison, he called me up Monday from prison because they have more access to cell phones than I do. And I don't understand that, but that's a different story. And he said, I want to revoke my plea deal because there's no air conditioning here at Kilby. I said, is it really warm? He says, it's hot and humid. And so I happen to know somebody at Kilby. So I gave them a call and they said that their air cooling units are down. So I think one of your advertisers is Air Now, air conditioning, Bradley Heating and Air. Somebody needs to make a house call to the Kilby prison.
But the problem I have with our prison system, though, and I get calls from the prisons all the time, it does seem that locking people up for non-violent crimes in a cage, in a hot and humid and almost, if we put dogs in the same environment that we put prisoners in the state of Alabama, somebody would go to jail or the SPCA would be at your house to arrest you for cruelty to animals. Is it my imagination, or can you treat human beings in prison worse than you treat dogs?
Absolutely not. There's a bureau inside the Department of Corrections called I&I. It's like an internal affairs, and I deal with them on a regular basis. Their director, Arnaldo Matardo, a former Montgomery police officer that's been running that division quite well now for some time, and they investigate wrongdoing inside the Department of Corrections. They monitor these officers, and they'll be the first to prosecute an officer who steps over the line.
Well, they must be low. They must be.
They are doing it on a regular basis.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Well, they must not have much staff because there's just too many things that.
I will say this: our prisons are antiquated and overcrowded. I know we're doing the bond money now for 2 super prisons. The super prison idea came out of Texas 40 years ago, where you prefabricate like concrete cells, and then you truck them together in like a Lego block. You just assemble them to cut down cost. And there are mega prisons all over this country, and we're about to get at least 2 of them. And they're high tech, they're computerized, and they're supposed to be more efficient and cleaner. And I will tell you, I visit prisons on a fairly regular basis. They stopped us from seeing the inmates during the COVID period, but they've gotten a little bit more liberal now. It's not good. It is not someplace you want to wear as a badge of honor and go back to. And I think it's incumbent upon us as a society to make sure that if we're going to put people in jail, then those jails are humanely run and decently authorized, monitored, provided for. And I believe in alternative sentencing, diversion programs as much as possible, especially with young people. But we're living in a time when morality is collapsing, and the young people have lost in a large measure their direction and their value system, and it's leading to younger and younger offenders.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem for our country's future.
That's not good. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
I don't believe you allowed another man to call in your show and tell you to shut up. You may learn something, and you from Indiana. Man, why don't you go and shut up, bro, and get rid of that damn KKK? I wish I could see that SOB right now. Go up, Patty. Get us shut it down, bro. Put your foot down, man.
Right on, brother. Right on. Right on. Now you just made me feel like I was Lord and well doo. But anyway, hey, I don't take it personal, bro. See, if you start taking things personal on the radio, your career won't last very long. Anyway, got to take a break. We'll be back. I guess Mickey McDermott, so I'll just hold on to the line till he'll talk to you in a minute. We'll be right after this.
Brought to you by
Everybody's a critic.
It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's MVP's bonus days are here. Pro members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. And for 12 days, you can earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Good morning, Montgomery. Our first accident's been reported. Atlanta Highway in front of Krispy Kreme Donuts. Authorities are already on the scene. So please use caution there.
Here's something I've been wondering about police.
An equity loan
If the police, if they stop you, and they say, "Can I search your car?" If you say no, is that probable cause to do it?
No, they have to go get a warrant unless they see something or smell something. Unless there's an emergency situation.
But they can always say, "I smell something."
And they do. I've actually had cases that I've had to get this.
Your morning espresso starts right here.
They have said, car drove by and I smelled marijuana.
So they don't know which car it was.
Yeah, that's what if it's the only car and you're on a lonely highway and it's dark, and there's no houses around you, no kids, no sports fields, you can make an argument. But car drove by and I smelled marijuana. That's not probable cause to make
I
stuff.
think it is unlikely, very
And
unlikely.
they do
We're
it,
going to see inflation
and
come
then
down
somebody like
toward
me
target
doesn't
range without a
you know.
significant in economic
Right,
development. It was a really good New York Post
Do
today.
do
And it
police
said,
officers
"Keep the
finding
line.
out that you were a
Joe
former
doesn't
police
need a
officer?
teleprompter.
Do they rag you about that, or is there
I've had a few who, how dare you,
Mike
that
blames
kind of
everyone
thing.
else
Why
again.
would you ever?
He's got no plan.
But then most of them want to be my friends because they know at some point in time they're going to get in trouble. They're going to need somebody who's been there where they have been and can empathize with them.
Gas prices are up.
I get more former law enforcement want me to be their attorneys because you've been there. I mean, you've been there. Same thing with military. You know, they want me because we speak the same language. I know what EOS is, and I know what an MOS is.
It only takes a couple of minutes.
What an MOS?
Watching
Yeah,
dollars go into your tank. Stop putting money
Have
back
you
in your
those?
wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today,
That's one thing I never thought about doing. Never, even when it got rough.
I got an
Upside
E7
users have already earned over $200 million.
assigned to the Ranger Bag.
Download the
at
free
Fort
Upside
Lewis.
app and get cash
He had
back
been
on every
assigned to
gallon of gas.
MWR.
Use promo code
He'd
HOUSE for an extra
leading
25 cents
fishing
per
trips,
gallon on your first
15
fill out.
years.
That's code HOUSE.
He had been,
Use code
he'd been doing
HOUSE for an
that
extra 25 cents per
15
gallon
years
back
up
in your
in
first fill out.
Seattle, and they just missed him. He was off the books. He was a SFC in the mess hall. He came to us, and they wanted us to put him back in the mess hall, and I said no. I said he doesn't know the mess hall anymore. He doesn't know that schedule anymore. It would be wrong to do it. I got overridden, and they put him in the mess hall. 2 weeks later, he went able. Couldn't take that, all that, okay, all that stress. About 6 months later, he got arrested down in San Francisco working on a fishing boat. And they called us up and wanted us to get extradited and all this. I said, why not just let him retire? Just let him.
He got over.
Yeah, but he deserved it. He's been treated. That's why the Army had treated him. They deserve to treat him better.
One of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with our latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information.
So I assume you were from Alabama. You're from Alabama.
Columbus, Georgia, born and bred.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like being from Alabama.
So you're from Columbus. My dad was sergeant major at the Delano.
Okay.
Ranger, the mountain base.
Yeah.
And then he came back after Vietnam, after his third tour of Vietnam. He came back and they put him at Benning. He and my uncle were part of the training brigade. And if you used to go in Ranger Joe's, you used to have pictures of soldiers and stuff. And my dad, my uncle were on that wall my whole life growing
Paid
up.
for by Christian Care Ministry.
And then when I went to jump school,
And why it makes so much sense right now.
my next door neighbor was a black hat.
It's just affecting everything.
And I fooled around with his daughter all the time in high school. And he had his revenge.
Brought smoke.
And then when I got the first, I'm doing push-ups at Rangers for the pre-Ranger school. I'm doing push-ups. And this guy come up, got down on the ground, and I'm doing my push-ups. He goes, stop.
It works.
He
And
goes,
members love it too.
you're
It has
McDermott's
doubled
boy.
the customer satisfaction with health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch.
I
They're
did
very
more
easy to talk to.
CQ,
Medishare has great
24-hour shifts going through Ranger
Here's the number.
training.
855-51-BIBLE.
And
That's
every
855-51-BIBLE.
I was going through the course. McDermott, go
Voice
first.
of the conservative millennial.
Wow.
The Shapiro Show tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, before we get back to our guests and your phone calls, I should tell you about, listen, if you feel like you got low energy, low libido, you may have what is known as low T. Now, the T stands for testosterone, not terrible. And listen, when you get a certain age, I wouldn't know about it, but that's what I hear. when you get a certain age, you start losing some of that stuff. And what you need to do, Montgomery Men's Health has a plan for you. All you got to do for $99, you need to go over there. It can change your life. Remember you just a few years younger, a few years ago? Nobody could top you. Nobody could stop you. You were the man. Well, you're a little older now. And we lose certain things when we get a little older. And testosterone is one of those things. Now, if you want to change your life, you want to feel the way you used to feel years and years and years ago, well, you can do it. Give them a call, 440-3663. And they also throw in a PSA test. I think that's a test to see whether or not your prostate. I don't really know where your prostate is. I just know it's somewhere down there. Where, I don't know, but I know it's in there someplace. So they'll check that out, because if your prostate is not working well, you can get certain kind of issues, and you don't want to know what they are. So Montgomery Men's Health, give them a call, 440-3663. If nothing else, you will be able to know what your testosterone is. Okay, become a man. You want to be a man? Be a man. Go to Montgomery Men's Health. All right, the number 440-3663. And one more thing, listen, you're looking for a car, you're looking for a nice car, and you just don't feel like the hassle. Well, all you got to do is call 272-4313. You can go online and check out their inventory, and that is J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. Online inventory, you can buy there, you can pay there, and the cars have been cleaned and cleared of all known issues and pass a rigorous and righteous inspection process. So if you're ready to ride, go to 208 Gun Road or give them a call, 272-4313. 272-4313. And if they don't have it, ask Steve if he can get it. Okay? So you can walk on the lot walking, but you can leave there riding and talking. Okay? And your credit ain't a big deal. He'll work with you. Online inventory. Go to the website, jolanetruckandauto.com, 272-4313. And tell him you heard about him on the radio. Okay? Our guest is one Mickey McDermott, a local attorney at law, a former Montgomery police officer, and a former soldier, like all of us. Okay, not all of us, none of us been there. He's jumped out of airplanes like me. Got a few more jumps than I do. That's okay. All you need is 5 to get the wings. That's all you need. How many jumps you got anyway?
246.
Okay, you got me beat back yet. Yeah, you got me beat. But then again, though, I wasn't 11 bro, I wasn't like that, so I didn't get a chance to jump very much.
That's okay. Appreciate your service.
But I did what I had to do, like everybody else does.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've got such a divided nation. I like to see our young people stepping up to the plate, serving, because somebody has to stand on that wall like you and I stood on it in our day. And I'm proud of them. We should be proud of him, of all of them. And those of you who are parents of young men and women who are serving this country, we thank you and we salute you and we pray for you.
Amen. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Mickey, how you doing today?
It's good to see you, Steve.
Hey, brother. Just wanted to let you know that Kevin keeps talking about you getting calls from prison, and they're all coming from Tutwiler up there. 'Cause they got
What can I tell you, man? What can I tell you? It's good to be known for something.
Steve, only you would have that data. I just might add that to the mix here.
Hey, I always enjoy going up to Tutwiler and then giving them a pre-release speech because, they didn't care whether you're ugly, handsome, or whatever. But anyway, talking about the prisons, the new prisons they're building, I serve on the Sentencing Commission, and one of the things that we talk about when the corrections give their report is staffing. And I just don't know where they're going to get the staff for those prisons, Mickey, because, they're just like with police departments and everybody else struggling to get employed.
Well, I think you're absolutely right there. And what I'm concerned about is there's such low pay for current officers. You build some mega prison in Elmore County, you're going to have a hard time getting folks who want to travel 40 miles, 50 miles, especially with gas prices, because That's a long ways to drive to go to work. Not everybody's willing to sit in the car for an hour, hour and a half to go to work. And I can see a potential problem, and there may be an alternative solution. I know the Department of Corrections has actually put some like temporary housing outside of some of the prisons, like trailers, for some of its staff to stay. I mean, that's how desperate they are.
Yeah, they've done that down at Atmore, but you know they got a pay raise Trump, but the only problem is maintaining them once they hire them, and then the only other solution is to lower the standards, and that's what's happening across the country. I mean, New York lost 543 officers in June, and they're lowering the PT standards to be able to get people to. So I mean, I just don't know how they're going to staff them, but I hope they come up with a plan.
Well, I'll tell you this. We are at a point where we keep lowering standards. People like me in my profession as an attorney, we're going to get really, really wealthy off the backs of the states and employees, because inmates are going to get injured, staff's going to get injured, there's going to be lawsuits, and it's going to go on. And at some point in time, the federal government's going to say, enough is enough. They're not going to just monitor our prisons. They're going to take over our prisons like they did in California many years ago. And then the state's going to wind up spending twice as much money as it could had it invested up front in quality training, quality pay packages, benefits, and adequate staffing. You know as well as I do, when you have just 1 or 2 officers to 30 or 50 inmates, that disparity is going to lead to injuries and fights and more deaths in our prisons. And I know you know that I think in Donaldson prison in the last two weeks, we've had about 7 inmates die. I'm fearful that we're going to wake up one day and find out that fentanyl is in our prisons, and these young men and women who have no hope, or they need an escape from their environment, or getting the ultimate escape.
Yeah, wow.
That's scary.
Well, if you don't have adequate staffing, you have a major riot, just like they had at Attica or any other facility. But hey, before the mayor gets off this morning, we need to let you comment on his. He keeps bringing it up about the in custody, whether law enforcement officers can be in litigation because they have a duty to protect. If they don't have a duty to protect, you got to be in custody. Just touch base with him on that.
Yeah, we'll get to that after our next break. But let me take clear these phones.
Thanks, Dave. Good to see you.
And then I'll tell you what he's talking about. Good morning, you on air.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
I don't know what he said. I to it. But we've got to be fair with right really at the ground. We've got to be fair to all people together. But it's time now, my friend, you'll guess, it's time now for all around the world. People should repent. I'm talking about people that expecting the will of God. It's time to repent. God said, I see all, hear all, and know all. And God said, have darker. He see what's going on, and he's going to do something about it.
He will. He will send the Lion of Judah. And when the Lion of Judah steps on the Mount of Olives, the world will change for the better.
Right. And for the world, what you see now around the world, God is doing something. He's always done something. But he's done something now, my friend. And he's done it this way. And I'm contrary, he's doing it this way. So he's going to wipe all this evil people out. But it is time for all of the white, black, brown, red to repent and be found.
Okay. All right.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you for calling, and remember, Jesus is colorblind. That's all I ask.
Good morning. Who's this?
I have not done a C5 jump. When I was in Jumpmaster school, we were doing about 4 or 5 jumps a day. and then I did a training exercise, Hollywood water jumps, and I was doing that. I was over in Europe, and we could jump as many times as we wanted, and I clocked about 6 of them in one day.
Well, now this one is a situation. I and Mickey served in the same unit, and so I got there. I jumped out of a C5.
I will say that I've jumped out of some stuff overseas that especially when I was and as I've said 3 times, I have never, but that doesn't mean other people haven't.
Yeah.
I think literally every aircraft that's ever flown, somebody has jumped out of. I have not.
As a matter of fact, we did combat jumps out of C5.
Did you?
Yeah.
I know there's some modified C5s for delivery of cargo.
Yeah. That's good. He's a leg anyway. I didn't know where the hell I'd give him anyway. Gotta take a break, man. I know where he even jumped out of his bunk. Anyway, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Talk about the one thing that Steve just asked him about. One of the questions, the Supreme Court ruled that police have no obligation to protect you. The only obligation that the law says, according to the Supreme Court, is that if you're in custody, the police, law enforcement has a right to protect you, but they don't have a right to protect you if you're not in their custody. We'll come back. Even though we do have on side of our card the political statement to protect and serve, that is not the job of the police. According to the Supreme Court, it was reaffirmed in 2018 by a couple of rulings. So that's what he's talking about there. So we'll come back and talk about that if you want to.
Can I stay about 15 more minutes?
Oh yeah, we going in 10 minutes.
Okay, well then we'll go out in 10 minutes.
But anyway, so I looked at and that's why when they were suing those police officers down in Florida and in Valley, the Supreme Court has ruled the police have no obligation to protect you unless you are in their custody.
Yep.
It may be harsh, and then Los Angeles got to protect and to serve. Well, that's a bunch of crap. Their job is to protect property, according to what the Supreme Court said.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker.
How's it going to be?
Radio
I just do it. People know. I don't really.
Right now, things are looking good.
Ain't really trying to get into it. But once you start getting Social Security, you can only make so much money anyway.
With the latest
Above
and the most accurate traffic conditions.
Exactly.
From a civil page,
And I try to be honest.
My accountant,
Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground.
I pay me cash,
Haynes Ambulance is ready at a
and
moment's
his
notice.
name never appears
Front
on
front
my
back, the
IRS
law.
form.
Montgomery
Yeah.
Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delivery.
He's fighting that limit, you know.
I think you can only make like
21.
Huh?
21 and it goes up
Christian Care
every
Ministry.
year.
If you haven't
At what
switched to
age are you when you don't
Medicare
have to
yet,
worry about
reasons to
making
at
that money?
least consider it. It might make so much sense right now. Number one's inflation, which
I
is
think it's
just
66.
everything. It makes sense to say, okay, we're gonna
65.
actually
Next
save.
year I can.
Well, you
I
can
think I
save
can
a
make
lot
whatever
in
we
one
make.
fell swoop. You
Then we
switch to
do it.
Medicare. The example
You know,
only saves
last year when I was in a
$500 a
coma,
month.
my wife
Secondly,
applied for
the
temporary
conscience.
benefits, but they
Medicare
told her
members
I'd
aren't forced to
probably
pay for
die
things they don't support
or
or
be an
believe in.
invalid.
And that's a
Okay,
big
I'd never
deal
go
for
back
a
to
lot
work.
of people right now. They want the money to
And
actually
she
help
applied
people.
and they
Hey,
denied
one
me
more reason. You can
because
trust
I had
Medicare.
made too much
It's been the
money
gold
the year
standard for
before.
healthcare sharing for more than
I said,
25
and
years.
so my
It
wife
works, and members
wrote him
love
back
it.
and said, my husband
Double
dies
the
or
customer
he's
satisfaction
paralyzed for
rating
life.
compared to health insurance. So
You're not going to
now's
pay
a great
him
time to consider
after
making the switch, and they're
62
very easy to
years
talk
of
to.
being working
Medicare has
as a
great customer service. You can even get a price within 2
contributed.
minutes. Here's the
He
number.
never
Call
responded.
855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE.
Well, I was able to successfully maneuver
855-51-BIBLE.
the Medicaid thing the other day. I got a letter because they try to you got to pay $178.
Other providers at Montgomery Men's Health.
You got to pay $178 to
And energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but
to-
now they're able to
okay.
enjoy sex.
no for part D.
Oh, Part D.
Yeah, Part D.
use safety training for teachers. Globally, nationally, and statewide, COVID-19 cases are on the rise.
All right, I'm gone.
Health
See you later.
Organization says well over 5 million new COVID